Hey everyone, are you ready to have some fun? We are going to create some monsters in Photoshop. So for this project, because we are still just getting used to how layers work and layer masks work and the selection tools, I do not want you to be overwhelmed with things being perfect. I just want them to be fun. So we are going to learn how to make things quite like this, or this guy, or maybe even these guys. And these are all student artwork that was turned in my classroom. There are all different kinds of things that you can imagine up. Your imagination is your limit. You can do literally anything that you can dream up. All right, so let's figure out how we're going to do this. The best thing to do is to kind of like plan ahead on what pieces and parts of animals or people or objects that you want to use. For my thing, I want to create something that has a horse's body with a cat's head and bat wings and maybe a fox's tail. Your assignment has extra parameters in it, so I need you to go read the rubric and read the instructions to see everything that's going to be required. But the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over into Photoshop and we're going to go to create a new file. Make sure that you're setting your intent to print. And then go ahead and change the color mode to CMYK, only because I would like to print these off, and putting it in CMYK is going to keep those colors straightened out for me whenever we go to print them on the printer. And you can just name this Frank, short for Frankenstein. And personally, I'm going to make mine in landscape orientation, but you're fine to make it in portrait if that makes more sense for whatever vision you have. All right, so I have my blank canvas here. If you are going to be pulling images off of Google, normally I would never ever advise you to just steal images off of Google because that is not legal. We don't do that. But since you are not creating these to sell them, you are literally creating these composites to learn. It is okay. This is for an educational classroom assignment, and it would be great if you understood that it's probably better to build composites out of images that you own, that you took, or that are from a stock page. And in the assignment, I've provided for you 5 or 6 different free stock image websites that you can get high resolution professional photos from. But since, like I said, this is just an educational assignment and it isn't going to be sold or used in anything promotional or professional, you can go ahead and grab images from the interwebs. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to grab the horses' bodies. I want you to notice something, that this might be a time saver for you. You can filter things down with the tools. You can go into size and choose large, and the reason that you would want to do that is because some of these are going to be tiny off the internet. I happen to know the one that I chose is just fine, so you can choose large sizes. You can also come in here and choose transparent, and what that's going to do is it's going to find you images, not perfectly, but most of the time images that have already been removed from a background. For example, this guy right here, when I click him, see how instead of looking white like it does here, it has this checkerboard pattern? That just means that the background on this image is transparent. All I got to do is right click him, copy him, hop back over here into my document, paste him on here with Control V to paste him, and you can see I've got my background and I've got my horse. All right, but what do I do if it's something like this guy? I'm going to copy him over here, Control V, paste him. When I have him, he actually has a background and I need to remove him from it. And I can show you how to do that. The first thing I'm going to do though is hide him, and I am going to remove the horse's head so that we can build our composite. I want him to have a cat head instead of a horse head. So while I have him selected, I'm going to come down here onto his layer and I'm going to add a layer mask. What a layer mask does, remember, is it anywhere that it is white in the layer mask, it's going to apply whatever the image or effect is that is in the thumbnail. Well, right now the thumbnail is the horse. Well, if I want to cover up anything, I can come over here, make sure that my foreground color is black and grab my brush, and then I can come over here and paint over any part of the image that I want to disappear, and it's actually still there. but now it is being covered by the black brush over on the mask. All right, so now I want to get that cat. I'm going to come over here, get the cat. Control T will let you resize him. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to hold Alt. My bad. If you hold Alt, it'll resize it so that it keeps the proportions. On some of yours, it may be Shift. We've changed the settings for a few of your computers. Okay, so now I've got this guy right here. I only want the cat, not all of this background stuff, and I'm going to end up erasing everything except for his head and some of his neck and shoulders. So while I have this layer selected, I can come to Select, Subject. And Photoshop does a pretty good job whenever the subject is high contrast from the background like it is in this image. And we can just go ahead while we have him selected, come down here and hit the layer mask. And everything that wasn't selected now has been painted over with a black brush. If you hit X on your keyboard, it'll swap you over to a white brush and you can paint that back on. See down here, you can see where I painted it back on. I'm going to Control Z to undo that. I am going to hit X to get my black brush back, and what I'm going to do is just paint off all of the cat that I don't need. But what do you guys notice? Do you notice it? Yeah, he's facing the wrong direction, right? And I'm going to take about that much of my cat. And when I have my cat selected, what I can do is come over here to the thumbnail. I was on the layer mask before, now I'm on the thumbnail. And what I can do is, and I just noticed this doesn't really matter in this case, but whenever I had it selected before and I moved it, I moved everything, the layer mask too. So you want to make sure you're on the thumbnail, but I'm going to flip my image. So now my cat is facing the other direction and I'm going to line him up down here. If you need help seeing how lined up you are, you can come down to the layer and you can lower the opacity a little bit so that it makes it a little bit more see-through. And this is how you can, kind of shift and line up. Oops, I'm gonna let go of those things, and you can use your arrow keys to like micro move things. Once you get them kind of lined up where you want them, and then you can hit enter, and you can come over here to the layer mask and use your brush to fine-tune that selection just a teeny tiny touch. Once you do have him, you can raise your opacity back up. And then I wanted to show you something. Right now, it kind of looks like, Mrs. Haley, that's super obvious, right? Well, you can come up here to your opacity of your brush. So remember, you have your brush tool. This is the brush properties panel. You can lower that. You can just kind of start on, let me Control Z to undo what I just did. And come get a softer brush. And you can kind of just start going through here and softening up that line a little bit where the two things meet. You can make it a bigger brush too. So, and I know it's not perfect, and there are better ways to do this. There's some generative fill things that we could be doing instead of manually doing it. But since the horse had some kind of shiny spots on him, it kind of blends in a little bit here. I gotta fix that right there though. So I'm gonna swap and get my white brush and paint it back. Okay, so this is how I added his head. All you're gonna do to add the rest of your little animal pieces, you're gonna come back over here. You can get something like, the bat. Oh, I didn't mean to click the bat. That was fun. Right click, copy, come back over, Control V to paste it on here. Get your transform or your move tool. I need to make him bigger, so I'm going to stretch him out and maybe rotate him. And you can see he's still on this solid white background, right? Well, I need that removed. So while I have that layer, I go to select. Oops, just kidding. Why aren't we doing the things? Oh, I'm not finished transforming. There we go. Then select, subject. It's going to select him. It's really easy to get him because he was on a white background. Hit the layer mask. Get your black brush, B on the keyboard, X if it's not black on the front, and you're going to change the size of your brush, and you can just come, oh, I still have a low opacity. You can come and brush off the parts of your bat you don't need. You don't need his noggin. by noggin. You don't need his tail and his legs and things like that. So you can just come up here, get your move tool, move your wings on here, spend a little bit of time. And if, like, for example, this layer is on top of his ears, if you wanted to change that, all you'd have to do is come here and you can click and drag those layers. I am not taking a lot of time and attention to this, but this is essentially how you're going to piece together your mutant monster guy. Pay attention to the order of layers. Use those layer masks to brush on and brush off any pieces and parts that you want to keep. You can lower the opacity of your brush so that you can blend a little bit. You can use that selection tool to select your subject off of your images. All of this right here, like, seriously low stakes. Just have fun with this assignment. Don't worry too much about the blending and stuff. Get it as good as you can, and it's okay. I would like you to just have fun with this, and it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be fun. Remember that. The last step before you turn it in is to come down here onto your background image, and you can find something like I'm going to say a spooky forest. You need a background. So you can come and get any background image, and, like, let's put him in this spooky forest. I'm going to do the same thing I have been doing. I'm just going to copy it, come over here and paste it. Control T will let me stretch it out, and because I don't really care if I'm stretching it and past the canvas, let's back up a little bit. I'm just going to make sure that I'm lining it up so that it is covering the whole thing. Hit enter to complete that. When I've finished it, this is where I'm going to save it as a Photoshop file by going File, Save, and putting it in my documents. And I'm also going to export it as a JPEG to turn it into the assignment.